What's up guys, Luke here from Luke's Points and Miles, and today I want to do a video on my 2022 airline status quest. Now I want to do a series of 4 or 5 videos throughout 2022 on how I'm going to achieve airline status with both Delta Airlines and American Airlines. Now in this series I want to bring you along as I attempt to gain at least the minimum tier status. I want to explain how I'm doing it, and hopefully at some point I can show you guys what I'm actually getting for having these statuses. But I'm curious, do you guys value airline status more than hotel status? Okay guys, before we get started, if you are new to the channel, we talk about credit cards, points, miles, cashback, and travel. If you are a subscriber, we absolutely thank you. If you are not, please subscribe. We are a young, growing channel. We have some really good momentum right now, and it's a great time to jump on board. At any time during the video, if you get any value or any entertainment whatsoever, consider hitting that like button. The like button definitely helps us with the YouTube algorithm, and it helps get this information out to other folks who can possibly use it. If you notice below, we do have a Facebook and an Instagram. If you have time, please check us out on socials. And in the description below, we also have several links. Everything from credit cards to shopping portals to the VPN I use. If you have time, check those out. Now, I know time is your most valuable asset, so I want to get straight into this. First things first, Delta Airlines. How is my quest for status going so far after the first quarter of 2022? Now, just a quick review. With Delta, you need a combination of MQMs, medallion qualifying miles, or MQSs, medallion qualifying segments, basically individual flights. You need a certain number of one of those in addition to MQDs, medallion qualifying dollars. That is how much you spend on Delta flights. Now, it is possible to get a waiver for the MQDs with a credit card such as the Amex Delta Platinum or the Amex Delta Reserve. We'll talk more about those in a little bit. So it's important to know, what have I done with Delta so far this year? I don't travel as much as a full-time travel vlogger. I'm a regular guy with a regular job. So I get to travel maybe once a month, probably more like 10 times a year. The trips I've taken on Delta Airlines so far is I took a one-way trip from Columbus to Anaheim in Comfort Plus. That was a Disneyland trip in January. My wife and I flew round trip from Columbus to New Orleans in first class. That was a Valentine's Day trip. Highly recommend New Orleans for Valentine's Day. Very cool. And I just got back from a round trip in Comfort Plus to Dublin, Ireland. That's where I got most of my MQMs. Obviously. So where do I stand as so far in regards to earning status? Well, so far I have 21,388 MQMs, and you can see right there. So obviously I need 25,000 MQMs to be eligible for silver status. So we're getting very close. We should be able to get the MQM portion fairly quickly, definitely in the first half of this year. And I still have a couple Delta flights already scheduled. I have a one-way flight to Fort Lauderdale coming up, which is, that's a very small amount of MQMs. But I also have a round trip to Cancun in June. So I think with those 2 flights, I'll definitely be in silver status as far as the MQMs. We'll see how many MQDs or medallion qualifying dollars I have by then. Because I'm a bargain hunter and I try to pay a very small amount of dollars for my flights. So MQDs will be the toughest portion of this status quest for me. I don't think there's a scenario in which I can reach Delta Medallion Platinum status without the MQD waiver from one of those credit cards. Now, we'll have an update very soon on whether or not I'll be acquiring one of those credit cards, either the American Express Delta Platinum or the Delta Reserve. We are looking into grabbing one of those cards. But if I do get one of those cards, the MQM waiver is spending $25,000 on one of those cards in a calendar year. Now, here's a question for you. Do you think spending $25,000 on a Amex Delta card is worth it? there's a fairly huge opportunity cost with $25,000. I don't manufacture spend, all my spend is organic. So $25,000 on one card is a pretty significant chunk. I fly once a month, maybe, so are the potential upgrades worth that much spend? We shall see. Now, moving on to American Airlines, which is what we flew mostly last year. American Airlines has changed its status program to loyalty points. If you want more information on that program, we do have a couple videos. I'll link them in the description. If you're unfamiliar with their program, definitely check out those videos. Now, so far in 2022, I've only taken one American airline flight from Anaheim back to Columbus. And that was an award flight, so I didn't earn any type of credit towards status. So as it stands right now in 2022, I have not flown any flights on American Airlines that would give me any credit towards status. However, with their new loyalty program, with loyalty points, I have been able to generate some loyalty points. So what's my plan to get American Airlines Gold status since I'm not flying that much with them? Well, credit card spend and the American Airlines shopping portal. Those are the two best ways to get it. I have put quite a bit more spend on my American Airlines credit card since this statement. And I've done some of that in the last few days. And here is one technique that I have been using and I think I will continue to use for the second quarter of 2022. We have done videos in the past about investing and how quarterly I change a small portion of my investment strategy. And in the second quarter of 2022, I'm investing in physical gold. So I'm actually purchasing gold coins. Now, American Express considers precious metals purchases as a cash advance. You would not earn any points, and you could actually get hit with a pretty hefty fee for a cash advance. So I can't use my American Express cards to purchase gold coins. Therefore, I'll be making some of these gold purchases using my Citi Advantage MasterCard. Now keep in mind, an ounce of gold costs more than $2,000. So for me, changing a few US dollars into gold coins can get me quite a few loyalty points. Now, I do not suggest this technique for most people because purchasing gold with a credit card does come with some fees. So if you're not interested in doing this for a very specific reason, like I am, I don't know if it's worth it to you. But with no paid AA flights this year, I still have over 16,000 loyalty points with quite a bit more that will be added in the next statement period. That's more than halfway to the 30,000 needed for gold. I definitely think we're going to get there, no problem. I expect to be at gold status by the end of the summer, even though I only have a couple American Airlines flights scheduled for this year. One is a one-way ticket to Miami, and the other is a round-trip ticket to Tokyo on American Airlines partner, Japan Airlines. Here's some background on this status quest. In my home airport, Southwest Airlines is king, with American Airlines being a very distant second and Delta being a fairly comfortable third. I think Delta and American combined don't have the amount of flights Southwest has at John Glenn International in Columbus, Ohio. My thoughts are, since my home airport isn't a huge airport and neither airlines have a strong hub here, I could see some decent upgrade opportunities by having status with Delta and American Airlines. And at the end of the day, I still haven't picked one of those airlines to be my preferred. I understand Delta has a much better product, but at least for me, American has more options and more direct flights to places I like to go. We go to South Florida a lot, so if I go with Delta, I have to connect in Atlanta. If I go with American Airlines, I can most of the time fly direct to Miami. And it's like a 2-hour and 20-minute flight. Now, you Midwesterners, you can understand how valuable a 2-hour and 20-minute flight is to go to the beach and get some warm weather and some sun over the winter. Personally, I value hotel status higher than airline status, but this is a project that I want to work on in 2022, and I hope you get some value with the information in this series. If you are chasing airline status with one of these two airlines, I highly suggest you consistently use their online shopping portal. especially American Airlines if you are trying to get status with them, because the points you earn with the shopping portal will count as loyalty points, making things much easier, and you should be able to really rack up a ton of loyalty points, especially with back to school shopping, holiday shopping, things like that. Now, if you're not chasing status with American Airlines, I would suggest using the shopping portal Rakuten. The cool thing about Rakuten is, while it is one of the easier shopping portals to use, you can also choose to earn American Express membership rewards points in lieu of cashback. Now, to me, that makes it quite a bit more valuable, and if you are a Delta flyer, you already know that American Express is partnered with Delta, and you can transfer those American Express membership rewards points to Delta SkyMiles. Now, if you do use our link below for Rakuten, you will receive $30 cash back on your very first purchase. Do it, it's free money, and if you have stayed all the way to the end, thanks.